theory work. I will try to explain in short while. So on Wednesday, we'll start with the resident status. I need 2 classes. So on Wednesday, we will do the theory part. Okay. In the coming class, we'll do the calculation. Okay. Employment income. Also, we have, I think, 3 classes. Employment income. What is employment income? What is the basis period? Okay. And what are the expenses? And personal investment. I told you dividend, interest, rental, royalty, premium discount. So all these will be, so chapter 1 up to chapter 4, all will be on your mid-exam. Okay, your mid-exam consists of, I'll show you in short while. Okay, so after that, once you completed your chapter 1 to 4, that will be mid-exam. So after the mid-exam, or so topic 5 to topic 8, it'll be for your final. Final is 50%. So topic 1 to 4 is about, I think, 20%. 20%. So donation. So there are so many donation. Not all donation are allowable. So deductible from the aggregate income. Some donation is not allowable. If you give food for the poor, it's not considered donation under the income tax. But if you give some cash donation, yes, subject to deduction. Okay, of course, we have 21 personal tax relief. Individual, wife, children, okay, what do you call, self-relief, okay, many more, a lot, 21 relief, okay, we'll go through. And the rebates, if you are having income less than 35,000 taxable income, you are given 400 ringgit as a tax rebate. Tax rebate, you can reduce from your tax, okay. So from the aggregate income minus the donation, you got a taxable, you got a total income minus all the personal relief. So the taxable income, you compute your tax minus the rebates. So all are the tax, okay? It's quite fun, but whatever you learn for tax, what you learn, you're going to practice in your life, okay? Irrespective whether accounting or non-accounting. Once you start earning, so these are things. So if you can utilize all the personal relief, okay, it will reduce your tax likely, like sir have 4 children, all of them were studying in university, okay. Okay, so I will get about 8 times 4, about 32,000 example. Of course, there's also joint assessment, separate assessment. When you start working, yours will be separate assessment. Automatically, individual will be separate assessment unless they married and they ask for joint assessment. Joint assessment is only good if your spouse or husband is not working. Okay, maybe your spouse is ill, cannot work. Okay, joint assessment, but better relief. Look, this is the capital allowance I mentioned to you. So there's a plant and machinery, okay, car, capital, hire purchase, value asset, all this. There are 2 parts actually. Capital. One is the capital allowance for plant and machinery. Another one is building a year, 6.31, 6.3. Industrial building. So for a final exam, this is 15%, and IBA is 15%. IBA means industrial building allowance. If search fast, search is not clear, you can always interrupt, sir. No problem. Okay. I won't get what do you call this. Sometime being a senior person, so I thought mostly everybody will understand well. But of course, if you're not clear, just let sir know. Okay. So we'll try. Okay, this is number 7, the second last topic. Business income is a big topic, but 15 marks only. Okay, business income. What's allowable, what's not allowable, what's deductible, not deductible. Okay, partnership, rather simple. Most 15 marks or so. Most of the student will score 15% solid from this topic because the topic is very easy. So made it very simple. The question which I give is actually all the question when we do the exercise are past examination. And for tax, for this course, usually the question doesn't change much. Okay, it is there always, always will be same. But of course, the figures, some scenario happen, but the same, the mechanism, the structure is actually similar, identical. Okay, the last one. Okay, this last semester, and we this was the worst. About 10 marks from here. That, but unfortunately, many did not score very well for this topic. Okay, the topic was about a person who changed the address. After that, changed the address when he wanted to go to overseas. He was booked during he cannot move out of Malaysia because he doesn't get a form. He haven't submitted the form. Okay, so what will be the consequences? What are the penalties? Okay, what is okay? What are the what do you call offenses? Okay, so this is so many could not do even though sir give a lot of materials for them to read. Unfortunately, not much lah. There are very few scored this 10 marks here. Most of them got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, many couldn't get good marks because of this. So you must emphasize this also a part of your 10%. If you do well, you can get better. Okay, everything is from here. Okay, and if there is something that is test not in the textbook material, I'll give the extra material for you. So whatever material I give you is all meant for your preparation. Okay. Yes, this is assessment part. So for the final examination is 50 marks. Topic 5 to topic 8 Don't worry about CLO. This is topic 5 to topic 8. Mid-semester exam, 20 marks. So the mid-exam is on 28th of April. And the time will be 5 to 1.5 hours. It'll be stress lah. 4 questions, tough question, timing. Last semester when we had the mid-exam, it was raining heavy rain in DKG 6, So everything was late. The lecturer who wanted to bring the question couldn't come because heavy rain, very strong wind. Then students were stressed lah. But anyhow, we made it until we had the exam ended at around 7 o'clock onwards. 7 o'clock night, 7 or 7:30. So then, okay, look at this. PBL1, PBL2, PBL3, all these are group projects. Okay, all these are group projects. The marks is 20. Okay, 20 or 25? 20. 20 marks. 20 marks, Yeah. 20 marks for the PBL group project. Meet, of course, individual, 20%. The PBL, the question will be given to you. The deadline also will be given to you. So the quiz is on topic capital allowance. That's topic 6. So topic 6 will be quiz. The quiz is 3%. The quiz 3%. Tutorial, every topic there's a tutorial except topic 1. Today is topic 1, there's no tutorial. So the tutorial 1 start from chapter 2. So chapter 2 will be our first tutorial. So the question will be given to you. Sir will try to discuss with you. Then you submit to sir personally. Not although the clause says submit online. I'll let you know when it's online. If sir's not around, then you can submit online. If not, submit during the class. Okay, during class. So there will be 8 tutorials and it's 7 marks. Okay, there will be 8 tutorials but 7 marks because there are 2 tutorials are together, especially on this. So for quiz 2, capital allowance 3 marks, tutorial 1 mark. Okay, but there are 2 tutorials there. Okay, final also. So all so please emphasize on capital allowance also because like 3 in 1. Okay, same thing for business income also. Okay, business income here. There's a tutorial for business income. There's a PBL for business income. There will be a final exam for business income. Business income final is about 15 marks. So careful. So all this. So any question you would ask me about the assessment? Okay. So sir will try to use the PowerPoint very less minimum. I'll use more on the textbook and more on the calculation. If possible, try to understand the Excel, how it works. So sometimes use Excel, or I'm planning to have a Surface here. So we'll try to use Surface in the classroom here also. Okay. Okay lah. Okay. Give me about 2 or 3 minutes. Rest for a while, 2 3 minutes. After that, we come back. Okay. So we start in another 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. Welcome back. Okay. So this is sir's name. Okay. Office is on top floor. 3.02. Actually, my room is actually 0.70 ground floor. So the renovation, actually, the room is already completed. They already put the tile, they already put wiring, even we have even a door, only windows not ready. I don't know why. And the aircon still working there. So if I get my room, okay. Currently, I'm using this room whenever necessary. If not, I'll be in my office restroom below the ground floor. So this is the number. Actually, the number, I don't know whether it works or no. Go all we removed out. Anything you can always telegram sir. Telegram sir is the best thing. Immediate response. Okay, this is my email. Can also email to me, sir. Yeah. So this is about 2.2. So this slide, okay, remember this slide will give you how many marks? 6 marks, yes. 6 marks from these slides. So it's good to read the textbook. Then after that, followed by the point. PowerPoint actually is only a summary, not much lah. Okay, so you have to read. Sir have the Sir use our university textbook UM Press, but I also have Chong Kai Fat. Chong Kai Fat 2025 I have. It is a very good book. Okay, you can use this for your text 1 and also text 2. It's very handy. A lot of information are from there. It's a comprehensive. Okay. So of course it's expensive. Okay, but you can get it and okay. So what is tax? Tax is to charge, okay, to elevate, okay, or to estimate, or to assess, or to charge on the income earned. So once you earn an income, so the income tax will value your income, or if you don't submit, they will estimate for you, okay, based on what you talk to them during interview. And once the income is there, they can always assess how much for you to pay after deducting all the relief. So tax is a compulsory compulsory payment. Every government need their citizen to pay tax. Only 2 countries in the world that don't have tax. One is Brunei Darussalam. Another one, sir, not sure which one. There's one more country. These 2 countries don't pay. Citizen doesn't pay any tax. The rest, like in Australia, it was 46%. When sir was studying in Australia, long time ago, I worked part-time, so the tax rate was very high. It's about 46%, because I was considered as a non-resident there. Okay, the first 6 months, I was taxed at 46. Later, once I fulfilled, then the tax was reduced. So it's a contribution actually. It's a contribution, compulsory contribution. So everyone have to pay tax. It's only pay tax if you got income. If you gain income, then it's a tax. So the financial income imposed by government. So this is tax is a financial contribution imposed by the government so that it can raise income for the country. Why means income? Government to raise. So in order to raise the income of government, they have to impose tax, because government use this income for many development purposes. Okay, to run schools, to build roads. Okay, so many social activity and extra. So look at the word charge or levy. Both are same lah. So both in Malaysia, okay, if the tax can be charged to you on your income. The moment you get a salary, if you achieve certain salary, if you are earning more than 3,000, there will be some tax on that. Tax on the income. Or when you buy a property, you sell the property, you buy a property, there will be tax. Stamp duty. When you sell the property, it can be subject to real property gain tax. Same thing, when you eat foods or consume certain services like courier or foods, so it's all subject to service tax of 6%, 8%. So it tax to everyone, can be individual, a person, or can be a company. Everyone, whoever got income in Malaysia, always remember it can taxable. But now LHT is very smart. Any income that you receive is usually easily based on the e-invoice, so we'll know how much you are paying, how much you're getting. Yeah, so although you pay tax, the benefit is not same as payment to government. You might pay more tax, but your benefit is not much. Okay, because this payment is used for to help the country, especially the poor. Okay, so and also when you buy goods from overseas, there's a levy. tax levy on the imports, or when you sell products, there are also some taxes on exports. So excess duty is done by the Royal Malaysia of Custom Malaysia, RCMD. So when certain goods or commodity are manufactured in Malaysia, they are subject to tax. Of course, local council, okay, local council then provides rubbish collection, drainage, whatever, okay, rates house, cukai taksiran, cukai pintu, is also is a tax. Okay, when you buy a car, there'll be some custom duties. But for your purpose, for your exam purpose, we don't touch much on the Royal Custom of Malaysia. So these duty, stamp, excess duty, rates, local rates, tariffs are meant for companies. Okay, this will be touched more on tax too. Yes, this is the most famous question in mid exam. Usually we'll ask, you know, 2 or 3. What do you mean by a principle of good taxation? Like yourself, what is the principle of a good student? The principal good student come to the class, okay, sit for the mid exam, pass the tutorial. So that's the indication. Ask question, okay, respect the lecturers. All these are principle of a good student. Same thing for tax. Okay, the tax must be neutral. Must be neutral tax. It cannot be biased for anyone. For certain people, tax is less. For certain people, tax is less. No, it must be neutral, equal to everyone. Efficient, yes, very important. Tax must be efficient. The moment you send the payment, it immediately goes to the accounts of LHDN. So system must be very efficient. Okay. So you have any problem like e-filing, it's very efficient. The moment you enter, everything is helpful. Very fast, you can send the documentation or send the text. Certainty, yes. You cannot say the text says 30 April the last day. Yes, must be certain. Or any income that you receive for the year must be taxed in the year, not before, not after. So certainty is very important. The law must be very certain. That's why we have regulated laws. Simplicity, as I told you. So if it's simple, easy to understand, then people will use the system very well. So law must be simple. That's why we have guidelines. We have public rulings to help. The law said keep records. But how long to be keeping records? Not much. So the public ruling says we have to keep for 7 years. The record must be good records. That means the language must be in English or BM. If the language is in Mandarin, then you have to translate if the necessary exists. Effectiveness, yes, very important. So when you pay the tax, does the country progress well? So the effectiveness is another issue. Productivity, okay. So it is a very uh, effective type of tax. Equity, I told you, okay. Equal, rich pay more, poor pay less, is equitable. Flexible. You cannot flexibility. So cannot be the same method for every year, for every century. There must be changes. That's why we have SST, change to GST, now come back to SST, or certain like last time manually fill up the form. Now we have e-filing. So all these are flexible. Means that you have to change according to the rules. There are a lot of election officers go to overseas, come back, and they're efficient. They're very efficient. Okay, LHDN officers are very efficient and very effective. You ask any question, they can tell you exactly what they talk the same method, same rules. Okay, so this is also another famous question in the examination. So what is the objective of taxation? Of course, we need income for development of our country. Also, we maintain equal equity. That means we provide infrastructure for the company so that people will get income. Okay, country will progress. So of course, certain raw material, certain machinery we need to produce production. So we need to buy from overseas. So when you buy SSCs, the taxation will be reduced for them so that machine can be used. Okay, of course, we will also tax also another mean of reducing, discussing harmful product. Example is tobacco. So if you are smoking, so in order to reduce the smoking habits, so or your alcohol drinks, okay, so the tax might produce must must reduce this type of product. But we can see lah, even though the tobacco price increase, alcohol drinks increase, still people are enjoying drinking and smoking. So it depends. Of course, discourage import. So we prefer you buy local rather than if you buy import, there'll be higher tax. Okay, the last part is the protection local industry. Yes, local industry must be protected. The rice that we produce should be cheaper than overseas. Okay, so this is another way. So you can, if you read, so all these are important for a country. That's the objective of taxation. So basically, objective taxation is to collect tax, okay, and distribute to the rakyat. Okay, of course, in doing so, we need to production many things here. So told you a lot. When you have an income, there is a tax. When you eat, okay, certain food, there's tax. When you buy property, tax. Tax on transaction means when you got a PTPN loan, you have to pay the stamp duty. It's also a tax on transaction, tax on instrument. The agreement is known as a instrument. Of course, a quick rent assessment for the houses that we pay, land, land tax, few more. So this is the basis of taxation. So these are the two taxes that have been paid by us, but for exam purpose, we'll touch on more on direct tax. Direct tax means we pay directly to IRBM. IRBM means Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia. So what are the tax they in charge? They in charge for income tax, real property gain, and stamp duty. So these are three tax under the jurisdiction of IRBM. Of course, we have another tax by Royal Custom Malaysia, but this is different. Okay, you learn a little bit about this in your tax too. So this tax actually paid to a third party, then the third party will pay back to RMCD. Example, if you go to any shops, when you pay, they say there's an SST tax, so you have to pay the SST tax to them. Of course, when you pay the SST tax, we make sure they are the officially collecting agent. So they must display the license to collect. So if you display the license to collect, then you can pay the tax. If you do not display the license, then they shouldn't be collecting. If they collect, it's a punishment. So always be a prudent a taxpayer. Always ask them, where is your certificate for LSTM? We say that you're a collector. Then you can pay. If not, they will collect and use it, So that's a problem with RMCD. IRB is more efficient than RMCD, but the tax collected by RMCD is more than IRBM, vice versa. So the big portion comes from here, but efficient wise, IRBM. Okay, so because it involves in third party, so monitoring third party is difficult. Okay, if you're an accounting student, there's a lot of plenty of jobs for Royal Custom. Of course, is getting a job is difficult. The government started reducing. So custom duty, of course, when you buy, sell, okay, buying property, not property, buying cars, machinery, excess duty, another tax on tax. Actually, there are three type of taxes for certain goods. Okay. So look at this. That the collection, more than 50% of the federal incomes come from direct taxes. Direct taxes means not only LHTN, it can be also from the local council rates also. In a tax less than 50%, supposed to be higher. Non-tax revenue, okay, like non-tax revenue like license, road tax, also part of income tax collection. So here also we have none, it's about 17%, non-tax revenue. So this is how things works here. Okay, so this is the income tax law. So we started when British come to Malaysia. So they started to collect tax in 1948. Okay, after that, 57 Sabah, 61 Sarawak. So we have ordinance, tax ordinance in Peninsular Malaysia. We have Sabah ordinance and we have Sarawak. So all these are being combined into one tax law. Income tax laws we consolidated. So we call Income Tax Act 1967. Okay. So of course, this tax is always changes according to the year by year. Every time the budget is declared, the basic income tax is there, but some of the clauses might deleted or might be added. Depends. Okay. Okay. So this is the laws of income tax. This is income tax law. We learn about income tax law. Okay, currently the tax law which I have also quite outdated. I try to get the latest from the website. Also, it's not the latest. We can use lah. So, if you want to get a good grades for your income tax, read the tax law first, the section first, then read the textbook, then refer to your slide. Then you can do your tutorial. Okay. So if you refer to tax law from there, you refer to textbook, then you refer to the PowerPoint, then you can do your tutorial. Okay, so if you can do your tutorial with your own effort, good for you. Okay, good for you if you can do your own tutorial. So we also have petrol income tax, about 38% of the tax. Okay, not 38, the rate tax rate for petrol is 38%. If you're Labuan offshore, there's another act there. Real property gain tax, promotion of investment, pioneer status, okay, subsidy laws, case laws. Case laws also can become part of law. Even the law doesn't have this, the case law decision can be part of the statutory law. So the ruling is important. But now we have also public ruling. Public ruling is a expression of the administration, but it's a step-by-step guidance. So it's not part of income tax, so can challenge. The law said 70, the law said keep records, but doesn't mention how many years. So the public ruling help to clarify saying that it's meant for 7 years. Of course, you can challenge if you want. Okay, because public ruling is not a law. The law is case law is a law. The act is a law. Okay. You can see there's a lot of cases involving LHDN. Okay, a lot of money. Actually, the LHD doesn't pay anything. Actually, just lose the case. That's all. Okay, whatever they collect, just give back. Okay, you can see many cases. Some cases, yeah, they have won, but you can see there are certain cases. Okay, so again, this is some sort of like objective. 1 minute. Okay, so this is a income tax act. So their duty of this duty of IRBM, income tax, income inland revenue board of Malaysia. So their duty is to assess and to collect direct tax for the federal government. So they are tax agent. Okay, so the agent for governoring. So they assess how much to pay, how to collect, payment received, okay, from this income tax, from RPGT again, same. So they also advise to the government on taxation matter, which one should be upgraded, enhanced, or which is not relevant, which need to be improved. So this IRBM will participate in the government meeting. They are under MOF, Ministry of Finance. And they also provide some publications. If you go to any of the LHDN, you can see some publication. Of course, sometimes the publication are not comprehensive enough. For a layman, yes lah. For a accounting student who have learned about income tax, they need more. But of course, you can go to the website, you can email, you can call, okay, you can attend any conference, so you can enhance. Okay. So this is also a part of the question for your mid-exam. Okay. Among all the section 3 of income tax is the most powerful tax. So I'll put it in a very simple form for you to understand. What is section 3? Scope of income tax. Scope income tax means it's only Malaysia or outside Malaysia. Okay. So what are the scope? Okay, in which the geographical part, Malaysia and outside Malaysia. So when you receive income from Malaysia, when you receive income remitted, earned in overseas, earned and accrued in overseas, but remitted, okay, then how the consequences. Okay, so first thing, look, so try to make it very simple for you. This is about income tax. A tax. A tax, the name of the tax is known as income tax. So a tax which is known as income tax is charged each year of assessment, every year of assessment, every year of calendar. 2016, one tax. 2017, one tax. 2018. So the tax is known as income tax, is charged on each charge for each year assessment. Separately, every year there's a tax, not cumulative. Upon, on what? On income. Income means must be revenue income, on income. What type of income tax is charged? Based on income. Income of who? Income of any person, can be individual or company. So it's charged on income, that means revenue income. A person who have, person means individual company, accrued or derived from Malaysia. Accrued or derived. So irrespective whether they paid or not. Once you are given the services, it's considered liability. So once you receive the income, even though if you not received yet, it's considered your income. So accrued or derived from Malaysia. This one. This is for Malaysian, or received from outside Malaysia. So you still receive income from outside Malaysia. So this part, receive in Malaysia from outside Malaysia, there's a cross, changes. This is an old section. So the first two lines is correct. Let me simple as that. A tax, known as income tax, okay, each year charge on income of any person accrued in Malaysia. That's all. But receive from outside Malaysia, hold on, because there's a changes happen. Okay. In 204 up to 202, overseas income remitted are tax exempted. Okay, so overseas income remitted to tax is tax exempt. You no need to pay tax. So overseas income, like here, can you see this? Received in Malaysia from overseas. That means overseas income outside Malaysia is tax exempt, except the fourth type of income. The fourth type of income later in tax 2 you will learn. That is business of banking, shipping, air, insurance. So these insurance are world income scope. So you will learn in tax 2. Okay, effective 2022, foreign source received in Malaysia no longer exempted when remitted. Wow. Earlier 202 exempted. Okay, but effect 202 is no more exempted. But again, confusion, a lot of confusion. Again, from 1 to 3 December this year, resident company, for time being, take it as a company. Okay, any Malaysian company will be exempted from foreign source for only for dividend only dividend. Resident company who receive dividend from foreign is taxed in Malaysia. In other case, other than dividend income, okay, first of all must be a resident company. If they receive foreign source, as dividend is exempted. Other than that, like rental, interest from overseas will be taxed. So we'll emphasize more later. Okay. So look at this. Foreign source received in Malaysia by individual is exempted. Oh, that means if you're an individual working in Singapore, you earn money in Singapore, you bring it to Malaysia, will be exempted. But this is until for 2026 only. We're not sure about 2027. So another case, I'll make it simplify for you. A company, that means either resident or individual, anything accrued derived from Malaysia is taxable. Okay, resident company or individual accrued or derived from Malaysia is taxable. But overseas income, foreign income for an individual is exempted. For company, only dividend is exempted. Other than that, like rental interest are taxable. Simple. Okay, I can draw this simpler for you later. When we meet again, I'll put it, or maybe next class, I'll put it nicely for you. Okay, for time being, just assume resident company or Malaysian individual, the income accrued and derived from Malaysia are taxable. Okay, which is exempted for individual overseas is exempted. Company overseas received from overseas exempted, only dividend exempted. The rest is taxable. Okay, this is another first important question. Okay, so these are the classes of income. So these are the income that can be taxed. So 4A, we call business income. 4B, employment income. 4C, dividend interest discount. 4D, rental royalty premium. 4E, pension annuity periodical. Then look at F. F is the most catching section. What is F? If you cannot classify from A to E, that income is considered F. Okay. Okay. If it's not business, all this is considered for A. Example, casual income. Okay. Okay. You are working as an accountant. Okay. Then you earn some casual income which cannot classify as business. Example, okay, you serve as a lecturer in UM. Suddenly, my neighbor wanted to sell the house, so I help him to pay. I help him to sell the house. As a reward, he give me 10,000 as a commission. So the commission, how? Is it business income? No, I'm not a person who always buy and sell property for people. No. Employment income, then my neighbor is not the boss. Employment income, you must have the master and servant. I'm not the boss. Not dividend, definitely. I'm not rental, not pension. Then, but still income. Because you receive from the selling of the income, income. So that income can be taxable under this. So if you're not very sure, you should there. So your for mid-exam, they'll always have this income falling there. Okay. But anyhow, when we do pass examination, you will know which part. Okay. So earlier, during my time, the system was considered as a official assessment system. That means IRB will give us the form, taxpayer the form. When fill out the form, send to IRB back. IRB will do the assessment. So a lot of work for IRBM. The form after send the form to post it. After that, collect. We have to send back with the documentation. Then they will do the assessment and charge tax. This is officially assessment. This is the old system. Remember I mentioned about flexibility. This is the old system, but now from 2001 onwards, all submission, assessment, charging of tax, all will done by the taxpayer. Taxpayer fill out the form, the system will compute the own, you have to compute your own tax. The system will, you put all the data there, the computer will compute the tax, and you have to submit. The moment you submit, the moment you press enter, The moment you press the enter button, okay, the payment must go together. Or you maybe submit first, later you pay the tax. So taxpayer need to knowledgeable. Yes. So as a student, you need to know about the taxable tax matters. Example, keep records for 7 years. Okay. Then voluntary compliance. So did not submit correct amount due to okay. So it's a voluntary compliance. If you don't submit the form or the amount is wrong, so or you send late, you will be imposed penalty. Okay. Second last slide. So there's a lot of remember crime we thought is always crime is murder, stealing, crime, but tax also another crime. When you did not submit the form supposed to be shown in the form, or when you earn income, you do not declare the income, or you do not submit the form with the income received, or you send the form but you reduce the amount, okay, from 10,000 you put 5,000, so not correct amount, and the due date is on 30 April, you send it later, so there will be a prosecution. Prosecution means not only penalty, can be prison too. Okay, the penalty usually 3 times, and the prison or whatever court case. So you must be careful. So never go against the government. Very important for you not to go against the government rules. Okay, if you go against the rules, you cannot go to overseas. You cannot buy the car that you dream for. Whatever income you have, you must always declare to IRB. Okay, declare your income, then your life will be better. If you do not declare and you buy a big car, okay, of course there will be a letter from IRB will be coming. So since you said cooker, you're a cooker, but how suddenly you can buy a BMW car? You're a cook, but how can you go to London every week? So lifestyle. Lifestyle, from the passport. Okay, many things like there's a lot of ways. And nowadays, even my student who works in LHD, sometimes when we chit chat, of course he won't tell much. But after talking so long, well, help the lecturers lah for the student. He say yes, they have a lot of variables. We call this Ankuba, what do you call like AI lah. What do you call? They have algorithm. Algo cannot pronounce because my teeth is broken. Long time ago. So algorithm, they have these variables lah, which will attract you. Okay, if you claim 6 times more, you have a claim tax relief for 6 type of relief, many things, or you collect, or you always get refund every year. So you subject to audit. But if you keep the correct amount, okay, like sir, the moment sir married and have children, until now, whatever tax I pay, I always give about 20% of that amount. I'll be getting it back refund. So they ask, how can you say you got a wife? Where's the proof as a wife? Where's the proof as a children studying in the university? Where's the proof that you're claiming life insurance? Okay, where the claim of you buying computers, whatever. So you must prove. Okay, the last part here. Okay, so this is old and new. PYB means preceding, last year. So under the OAS, last year will be taxed in the current year. That means if this is 2025, in 2026, when you compute 2026 is meant for 2025. Preceding year, last year. But now, no more. Now is current year. Of course, in 2026, you fill out the form, it's meant for 2025. Okay? So exactly like same lah, but this is under OS system. So when you receive the form in 2026, example, the form was stated is 2025. But now we go to system. So even though you're going into the system 2026, you are paying everything for the 2025 current year tax. So this is important. Look at year of assessment. Remember, for individual, to all income, okay, from 1st January to 31st income will be taxable. Not accounting period, not accounting. For individual, from 1st January to 31st December is the year where the income is assessed. What's the year assessment? Is the year the income assessed using calendar year. That means 31st December. Very important, calendar year. So if you receive commission, if you're working in a company, the company gives you commission. This commission is for 2025 and 2026 together, 6 months for 2025, 6 months for 2026. You only declare 6 months for the December part. Maybe July 2025 up to July 2026. So you only declared the half of that. Okay. So basis year, okay, basis year is the year the income is received. Basis period is the period when the income received. Okay. I give you a very simple here, simple look. So this person individual, he obtained income from 1st January to 30 December. So what do we call? The year assessment year is considered 2024. 20. So whatever income you receive from this year is assessed in 2024. Basis year, this is the basis year. Okay, basis period, this is the basis period. Very simple. So in the exam, they ask you what do you mean by year of assessment, basis year, basis period. With this, very simple. If you are in the class, if you focus in the class, it's very simple. Make sure as an individual, your period income earned from January to December. If you have July, okay, half July, half for 2024, half for 2025, only you declare half because the period is 1 January to 30 December. When we do more exercises, then so will let you know. Okay. So year assessment 2024, the basis year, this is the basis. Actually, year assessment, basis year are same. Okay. Of course, here you can see income assess, year assessment, income assess. Basis year means the year that you receive the income. Look at this. Is the year when the income is received, is the year when the income is assessed. The income is assessed, income derived, only then you can assess. Period means the period that you receive the income. Okay. So, okay, so 6 marks, 6 marks from this chapter. Okay, so 6 from this chapter. Hope you can have the textbook, read the textbook plus here. So all the question from question 6 mark will be from here. So your final exam 28, hopefully you can read and understand. Try to read this also, this principle of taxation, okay? Usually this is the most famous question. So they give you, of course, they won't ask a lot. They'll ask, please give 2 principles of good taxation. So if you don't understand very well, okay. So start reading, start understand. Simple, simple. Neutral means equal. Efficient means fast. Okay, fast. E-filing is one of the efficient way. Certainty, the law is there. Simplicity, simple calculation. Effective, if it means you implement e-filing, the tax increase. Yes, the e-filing is an effective system because income has been increased. So effective system was effective. If you have the system but you cannot obtain your income, okay, government implements so many system but doesn't work, then no point. Equity, horizontal, vertical, rich will pay rich, more higher, low. But sometimes when SST comes in, everybody have to pay the same tax. For rich person, no effect. So we call this a regressive type of tax. Poor problem. Flexible, yes, changes. You cannot be there all the time in the same system. There must be some improvement. Okay. Okay. Last time we have to go to the office and get information. Now with the phone call, WhatsApp, Facebook, many things are there to get information. Okay. Website, although it's sometimes not updated. Okay. Okay. So thank you very much for coming to the class. sir will meet on the coming class on Wednesday. So those having classes can leave. I'll splash back the QR code again. Okay, for those that didn't know. So thank you, everyone. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Doctor.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay.